This class we will go for how many values a function can return. So a function can return multiple values. Let us know how to write this one. So here, what do we write? First, we will write a def followed by function name we will write. And here we are concentrating only on return values. So least bother whether this function expecting the arguments or not. Next, I am going to write some statements related to this function. So I will write statements. Next, at last, what I want to do? My function should return multiple values. How can I return multiple values? So return followed by how many values you need to be written. That all values you have to write it here. Value 2, value 3, value 4, like that. How many values you want to be written, that many values you can return. So this is the way we have to return multiple values from the function. Now, how can we call? We will go for one simple example and understand how this program can return a value. So here, I am writing one example. This example is to take two integer values and find all the related arithmetic operators. So here, I am defining one function. This function name is arithmetic. Okay, ARITH, arithmetic function. And what does this function doing? It is taking two values, x and y. Okay, after completion of that, I will put the colon. Next, what is my function? It is going to perform all the arithmetic operations in this place. Okay. Next, first, what I am doing? I am finding sum. How can I find sum? X plus y. Next, I am finding subtraction, which is x minus y. Next, multiplication. This is x into y. And division, x divided by y. Like that, you can write multiple operations also. But I am going to write these four things coming under the arithmetic function. Next, what I will do? I want to return multiple values. What are the values I am returning? What are the everything I am going to return? So first, I will write a return keyword, followed by what is the first value I am sending? This sum value. So first I am writing sum, comma, subtraction I am sending, comma, multiplication value I am sending, next division value. These four values I am returning from this function. So this is the way I have defined function, and let us understand how these values can be written and how can I access. Generally, to access this function, what I need, I definitely need to call this function. So here I am going for the calling function. So call. So what is my function name? Arithmetic, ARITH. And how many values it is expecting? Two values. Either you can go for positional argument way, or you can go for keyword argument. So in last class, I said how to supply this one. But directly I am going for positional argument. 10 and 5 I have given. Next, what happened? These two values will be copies to this x and y. And these all operations will be written. So here, in the last class, we learned how to assign multiple values to a variable. So here, that we learned at the time of, what is that? That is grouping and ungrouping. Packing, unpacking. Sorry. Packing and unpacking. These things I said. What is mean by packing? I have multiple variables x equal to 10, y equal 20 and z equal to 30, and I am going to group this one by using parenthesis, and I am going to copy to a one variable. So multiple values I am going to be group as a single unit, and this one is created like a tuple. This is called packing. Unpacking is nothing but this is the group of values I have 10, 20, 30 available, and these three values I am going to assign to these three variables. Then how can I assign? How many values are there? That many variables you need to create at this place. I hope it is clear. Packing and unpacking at the time of tuple concept, I said. So this is called unpacking. What is the pack it is available that I'm going to unpack and copying to the three variables. Similarly, while this function returning a value, this entire thing will be packed. Okay. After packing, this entire pack will return to this function. Then how this pack, how many values it contain? 4 values. So here you can see 3 values. These 3 values copies to 3 variables. Similarly, I am packing this one with the 4 values. Next, this is going to be copies to one of the variable. So how many variables I require to hold these 4 values? 4 variables I require. First one is A, B, C, T. So here what happened? What is the packet you are getting from this return function? Return variable, return function, that everything will be individually assigned to these 4 variables. So A, B, C, D. May I know what is the value stored in A variable? This sum value will be copies. What is the value stored in B variable? Subtraction. C variable, multiplication. D variable, division. Like this, it will be copied. Let us check whether it is working or not. Arithmetic operations, x comma y, 2 values I am taking. Next is sum equal to x plus y. Subtraction equal to x minus y. Multiplication equal to x into y. Division equal to x divided by y. You can perform exponential, that everything you can perform. This is your requirement. Next one, what I do after completion of this entire function evaluation, my function is going to return values. How many values it is returning? 4 values it is returned. So what are the values? Sum value, division value. These 4 values I am returning. Next, next I am going to print one simple message like task has completed. Next I am going to run. So can I see these results? I cannot see because I am not calling this function. So here, how can I call this function? Using this function arith. How many values I need to supply? 2 values. 10, 5 I am supplying. Can I supply 3 values? I cannot supply because this arithmetic function expecting 2 values, but I am supplying 3 values. Then this is invalid. Can I supply 1 value? I cannot because function is expecting 2. I am supplying 1. So these 2 cannot be used at this place. You definitely need to supply 2 values. Yes, these 2 values will be copied. After that, it is evaluating 4 values it is returning. When it is returning 4 values, then that I am going to write 4 variables prefix of this one. Because where I am going to unpack this one. So generally this everything will be packed and that entire pack will be written. That return will be unpacked to these 4 variables. Next, I am going to print these all values. Print A, print B, print C, and print D. So these 4 values I am printing, and let us check whether these values are valid or not. So here, when I run this one, yes, 15, B printed 5, next C printed multiplication 50, and D printed 10 by 2, 2.0, it has appeared. Yes, this is working fine. So can you tell me, is it valid? How many values it is returning? 4 values it is returning. And how many variables it is available at left hand side of this function calling? 3 variables are available. Is it valid or invalid? Can anyone respond? Is it valid or invalid? 4 values coming and assigning to 3 variables. This is invalid. Now we will check whether it is valid or invalid. When I click on this one, so too many values to unpack. So expected 3. So 4 values I am returning, but I got only 3 variables. Is it possible? This is not possible. Next, when I go for 2 variables, is it possible? Is it possible? This is also not possible. When I run this one, again I got too many values are unpacking, but I got only 2 variables found at this place. This is also not valid. When I write 1, can you tell is it valid? Can anyone respond? Is it valid? This is valid because these 4 values are packed. That entire pack I am going to assign to a variable. Now what happens? This A is going to create a tuple. This A is going to create a tuple. That tuple contains these 4 values. Now we will check this entire A I am printing a data. So when I run this one, yes, I can see these all values are packed and using tuple. That tuple is maintaining these 4 values. So what do you understand from returning a value? While returning certain number of values, that many number of variables we need to define. Otherwise, you have to create 1 variable. I hope it is clear. Either 4 variables you have to write left hand side, or 1 variable you have to write left hand side. When you write 1 variable, it create like a tuple. If you write a 4 variables prefix of this function calling, that many values separately copied to that variables. So this is the way a function can return, and that many variables it can be copies.